Hello and welcome to Evolve Pipedrive podcast. We talk all things Pipedrive, sales, apps, and the Pipedrive marketplace. My name is Bruce Bignell. I own and run Evolve. We're a technology consultancy based in the UK, working globally, helping businesses scaling do more with Pipedrive through implementation, consultancy, and training. Today, it's my great pleasure to be joined by Anton Viborniy, the co-founder at Apiway. Apiway is a no-code integration platform that allows you to send TikTok and Facebook leads to your Google Sheets or directly to your CRM. Now, I'm really looking forward to this conversation with Anton for a couple of reasons. One, because Anton is a CRM expert, having worked with CRM systems for 7+ years. Used to be a reseller of ActiveCampaign for about 5 years now. So I'm sure we'll get some great insights from our conversation about how CRM has changed and what current principles, the principles that will unchanging as well. And two, because Anton has a fascinating framework for how he thinks about API integrations today, in the future, and how it actually links back to ancient Rome. Yes, how it links back to ancient Rome. So hopefully we'll jump into that story as well. So without further ado, Anton, welcome. Please introduce yourself and Apiway to our audience.
Hi, Bruce. Thank you for having me. Nice to see you guys. So, a few quick words about Apiway. So, it is a API integration, a platform that helps people to connect different apps, automate processes. In most cases, we covering digital marketing use cases. For example, when someone submit the Facebook leads, you can send this data to Pipedrive or Mailchimp and automate your processes. Something like this.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So what's quite nice there is you're kind of leading on the marketing team, right? So who before I ask some other questions about is it Apiway or API Way?
I like more Apiway,
Okay.
but sometimes people named it API way. So and
Yeah.
I don't care about this Apiway, API way. So
So with the marketing focus here, who in the business typically approaches out to you? Because from my head, when I was thinking about this, would it be led by the kind of rise of the CRO and the sales ops, or is it kind of a marketing lead that kind of wants to get more from the data and connect it to CRMs? Where's that coming from?
in most our customers are digital marketing agency who run TikTok ads, Facebook ads. And they connect these lead forms or websites and send this data to a Google spreadsheets or CRM. And
Mm.
after that, sales team start to engage with these leads and start to sales process. So we are more about marketing processes than sales process. But of course, we want to cover this sales topic in our next product updates. But I know more about digital marketing, and that is why we are covering in most cases these cases. But sometimes people come to us like people who are implementing a CRM system. They connect lead forms or websites when someone submit a contact form on a website. We can capture the webhook and send
Mm.
this webhook to Pipedrive or another CRM system. And CRM people, a CRM agency also are using our product.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. So what does the team look like your side? There's 13, 15 people at the moment, and where's HQ and what does that team look like?
We work remotely, so we have five people on the team. So we just like a startup.
Yeah.
And so we have two engineers, a co-founder, and one support manager who helps to customers to implement our tool if the customers have some problems. Because sometimes end user like a business owner come to us and try to implement this by themselves, and they have some questions.
Mm.
And sometimes digital marketers come to us, but in most cases they can make it without our support, because CRM agency and marketing agencies, they are all already familiar about these use cases.
So from like your ICP, it is the digital marketing agencies
Yeah.
that you know because I guess that was your background, right? Um, so tell me, so from running that business, how did that and what was the name of that business? The Active Campaign Reseller? Is that
It, Yeah. I was Active Campaign reseller. It's my first IT digital business. So
Yeah.
I was CRM consultant, and we was implementing Active Campaign to customers, and that is why we started our own startup. Because when we implemented Active Campaign, our customers all time was struggling with API integrations. There are a lot of our competitors in the world like Zapier or Public Connect, and it's a lot, it's crowded market, but all times customers had some problems with this, and we created a custom integrations with Active Campaign and with the other systems. And by the way, this is actually interesting how we start, because sometimes when you are performing in the local market, I'm originally from Ukraine, and for example, um, we we implement Active Campaign to the another local vendor that only performing in the Ukraine industry, for example, and that is why you cannot use tool like Zapier or another things,
Mm.
because they don't have integration with, for example, local payment system, and that is
Mm.
why people like us as a CRM agency comes and make the custom solution. So we created a little bit custom solution, and after that we decided, okay, let's build our own API integration platform. So that was our idea.
So on that journey, you didn't you were enjoying the active campaign reseller life as that kind of marketing consultant there, but you didn't start that business with the end goal to start Apiway. That was never on the roadmap. But it quite
Uh,
quickly
you
came
know,
up. What was the journey then?
that's actually interesting story how I decided to start a reselling business. My first business, it was like a online school for architects, because I'm an architect, so
Oh,
I could create 3D visualization using them 3D software. So, and my first business was like teaching people how to do these 3D images. And when you are start teaching online, you start to be a digital marketer, because the main process in their course selling business is how to generate leads and make sales. By the way, it's a main skill in any business.
mm,
So how to make sales. So, and I was implementing some email marketing software, CRM software in my business, and Active Campaign was some of them. So I was
mm,
using Active Campaign for my own course selling business. And after that, I saw that you can be a reseller in Active Campaign, like a white label. So
yeah.
it was like 8 years or 7 years ago, a lot. So, and at that moment, I even didn't understood that it can be. So you can grab someone's product and start to resell them and have a recurring revenue.
Yeah.
So like affiliate commissions, reseller program, and I just said, "Whoa, let's do it." And so it was like a 10 seconds
Yeah.
and I started this business.
No, very, very cool. And then when the switch to actually Appy ways, right? So then you're like, hold on, everyone's a third of people are asking us for this integration. There needs to be a better way.
uh in first thing, it was like a it was part-time project, because our main revenue was from Active Campaign and from the service to create this sales funnel, to create custom integration and something like this. And we create API way, like like part-time product to just to have fun. So, and I think in 2021 we raised our first money from the
Mm,
venture capital, but it was still like a part-time product. So
mm,
another interesting story how we raised money. So because our investors is company named Selzy, so it's a email marketing software. So, and their CEO and owner of this software was searching for some information about marketing automation market, about the product, and he was reading my articles, and these articles was for nerds. I thought that everyone will not read these articles, but
yeah.
this guy was reading this, and he understood that I have a very good understanding of the marketing automation market, all this stuff, and he said,
Mm,
Anton, just let's have a call, and grab a coffee. We had the
yeah.
coffee, and after that, in that time, I just had an idea about API integration. He said, when you will have the demo of your product, let's talk. So I think maybe as 6 maybe 8 months after that we had our first demo, because we was implementing these things to our customer. We had a demo, and I came to this guy. So and I said, you see, here is a demo. Do you want to invest in our company? And he said, okay, let's do it. And so that is how we started. And it was like a part-time product. But I'm from Ukraine. The war in Ukraine started. I was in Ukraine in this time.
Mm.
So and a lot of businesses cut their subscription to use no, because in the war, who will pay for active campaign, so and we understood that this market is end, and it was a very big trigger for us to start a new journey. So and we said, okay, guys, we closed our reselling business. No, it is. We had some commissions, yeah, some customers, but we are not searching for new customers, for new no,
Yeah.
for new services. So and I said to my team, so hey guys, we have a little bit money to survive in the next few months, and we need to implement paid subscription to API way and start to generate revenue from this product, because if we will not to do this, so we will face the really big problems,
Yeah.
so and in the September 2022, so we implement paid subscription, and people start to use our product and pay for our services. Because before we had a like a freemium version, so people use our product for free. We made a lot of pivots, about the business model, but
Yeah.
so now we are selling API integrations. This is how we
Nice.
start.
No, I love it. But there's also how you started was from a conversation, sharing your thoughts online, and someone
Mhm.
picking that up, right? So that kind of lessons there from the content that you're putting out.
Yeah,
People always talk about document as you grow, so that there's a piece there, putting down your thoughts and sharing. The intention wasn't to find funding. You were
yeah,
just
yeah,
sharing.
yeah, yeah. And the main lesson that I learned, um, when you are watching some very popular content on the YouTube, on their articles, you see this number of views and you think, oh my God, this guy have a 100 views on the video about how to use chat GPT for something like this. And you creating some high quality, but it is so narrow content, but for specific audience. So you start to thinking, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. Nobody will not watching my videos and blah blah blah. But when you create a very deep content for one specific niche, some guy can just watch your video, and the company of this guy can have generate hundreds of $1 million. So and this one view can change your life. So
Yeah, it's search your intent, right? So whether the person is in the market then, or if they're in the market in the future, if they know you and they trust you, right? So
yeah,
I
yeah,
think Daniel Priestley from Score App talks a lot about this, like the 7 to 14 touch points that people will see you, trust you. They've consumed the podcast, they've seen your writing,
yes.
they've seen you talk here, and yeah, so there's certainly something there.
In B2B industry, it's work well. For example, in B2C, you just can launch traffic and immediately conversion. In B2B space, so you need to build a good relationship with the people.
Yeah. So tell me more about this story that connects the ancient Rome roads of ancient Rome
Ah,
to API integration.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very interesting. So the first, we wanted to name our company Flow Vision, and
Hmm.
so we already grabbed a domain, but Microsoft had a flow.microsoft.com product, and we said,
Okay.
oh my God, so this is close. And I started to thinking about the name of the company. So and I'm an architect. No, in previous I was an architect, so I have these interesting thoughts about architecture. And so what we are doing, imagine that software is like a cities, it's like a cities. and between these cities, people are traveling, transferring some goods and something like this. So it means the roads, it's like a connection.
Mm.
So, and we think, okay, software, it will be a cities, and API integration, it will be roads. So, and I start to thinking about this. What country and what ancient country in the history had the most huge impact with roads, and it was ancient Rome, because the innovation, ancient Rome innovation was a stone roads. With these roads, they could send the troops from the one side of the empire to the another side of empire, and to make it in a 10 times, in 20 times quicker than another people. So ancient
Mm.
Rome could manage one army in one place and the second place, and that is why the ancient empire was so big. So, and I started to searching about what is the first road in ancient Rome, and the guy who is created this road, his name was uh, Appian. I thought Klaus Appian, something like this. So,
Okay.
and this road named Appian Way. On Russian, I don't know how to English. Apieva Doroga. Okay, so
Okay.
Appian Way, and the first it was like a p p and way, so like an app, and I said,
Yeah.
okay, app like a software, and way. So and we change app for API and way, and that is how we created our brand name. So it was like funny story. On our website, you can read this story, and
Yeah.
also read about Appian Way on the Wikipedia. It's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know about the Appian way. We'll put a link below because that is fascinating actually. Because there was a quote that I saw when prepping for this call, that you said that Roman armies were 6 times faster on stone road than on park,
On average, so
and the
faster.
same and the same as in business, right? So the
Yeah,
faster the information can be transmitted inside a
yeah.
company, the better the productivity. So
Yeah.
on that, if you're a business owner, a sales manager, a marketing manager, where should they start? Like if you want to automate or have data flowing faster between, where should they start in this kind of new world of API connections that you not because the reason I'm saying this, for the last 20 years or more, you've had marketing data, sales data,
Mhm.
finance data, and it's all been in silos. Obviously, we're getting to a stage now where they can connect. But so where should, if you want to have fast information transmitted inside your company, where from your experience, where's the best place to start there?
So that's actually a good question. So and it's like it can be a two sides of automation. The first thing, it's about data. You want to collect the data, blah blah blah, all this stuff. So and then other things, you can replace humans' time. So and I'm a big fan of replace a human's time, because when you try to connect all this data, have advanced analytics, it can help your business. But if your business is very big, very big, you can make a decision on the operating on the data. But when you have a small business, um, of course, you need to pay attention about your metrics, but don't try to build like like a spaceship. When you're just little butterfly, something like this.
Yeah.
Instead of this, yeah, instead of this, for example, you can say, okay, for what workflow I or my employees spending, let's say, 30 minutes every day. And for
Mm,
example, about API, the most used use case is connect Facebook leads to Pipedrive or to Google Spreadsheets. Because in some businesses, let's say insurance business, they are launching ads for lead forms, and people submit the leads, and you need to contact this lead as quickly as possible, because if you will contact to these leads on the next day, someone will already contact to these leads. without our tool, you need to collect all this data in a Facebook ads account. After that, you need to download this data and send these Google spreadsheets to a sales team. So, and sometime, how in most cases marketing agency works. So they launch traffic, they had the leads. On the end of the day, digital marketing manager upload this file and send, let's say in the morning, send these spreadsheets to a sales guy and say, hey guys, here are the new leads that you get yesterday. And sales
Yeah.
guys start to call them. And of course, these leads, oh my God, I even don't remember what was yesterday. So,
Yeah.
and the answer for your question. So when you want to automate something, just start to thinking for what task you spend, let's say 30 minutes every day, or for some tasks that you really hate.
Hmm.
So this
I,
is
I think that's yeah. I like that. There's a rule of thumb that we work with. It's automate in as much as you can, and then the automating out. So automating in and automating out. So beginning of a project, automate in as much as you can, and then the automating out. Don't rush that piece. Try to capture like where do you spend time? What are you doing manually that and that's a really nice framework. So if you're doing 30 minutes, well, that's probably a use for that. How can we maybe automate out better there? So that as a yeah,
you,
we,
you
we,
know
we think
how.
about automate in, automate out.
Yeah. All times. I thought, by the way, when you are selling the CRM system, yeah, or some automation stuff. Let's say
Mhm.
you're making automation. So all times, customer asked you, okay, what is the benefit when I will
Mm.
spend a lot of money to all this stuff? What is the benefit for my company? And this is a really very hard question because you cannot to say that okay, when you see all these website pages and implement CRM system and you will increase your sales in 20%. It's a
Yeah,
it's bullshit. It's like trigger words for people. So because you cannot say 100% that you will get this result. But how to sell this service? So the good IT manager every month can say you, we created this automation, and this automation already saved, let's say, one 10 minutes of the workday of the one salesperson. and
of
you
this individual. Yeah,
and you can, let's say for example, what our tool doing. So uploading this data manually, people spend in average, let's say 15 minutes, or let's say 30 minutes every day, when there one digital manager uploads CSV files from the, let's say 10 let's say the marketing agency had a 10 projects,
yeah,
and every day in 9 a.m. in the morning, this digital marketer have to download all these leads and send to these projects. He will spend, let's say, 30 minutes every day. So let's imagine that it can be 5 digital marketers who are doing this. So, and when we are when they start to use our tool, so they can save, let's say, a tens of hours per month. One day, let's say 1 day per month, we can
yeah,
save. This is our benefit, and you start to multiply salary and the cost of tool.
yeah.
Yeah, and after that, you start to push the pain. Okay, let's say that your employee is doing well, but what will be if your employee will oversleep 9 a.m. and will not to send leads to the sales guys, and all
Yeah.
these 100 sales guys will say, "Where is my leads?"
Yeah, and because you could the sales team can push back. They get better results if they call between 8:30 and 10. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they're not getting the data until 10:15, for example, then
yeah,
all of their calls don't get answered. So then it's kind of like a knock-on effect. Yeah, so that there's the immediacy piece is there, which is uh, very apparent. I mean, let's just talk about obviously from your CRM experience. There's the market's changed a lot now with
yeah.
automations coming in and kind of chat GPT and kind of Salesforce Einstein. I don't know if you've seen what they're doing there,
Mhm.
getting insights from your own data, basically. I think loads of this is great. I love sales tech, which is why I run this business. But there are principles that you can't move away from, right? So making sure that you reply to people promptly. If you're using their name for any outreach, for example,
Mhm.
what are some things that you would recommend there that some innovations that you like to see in the CRM space, or are seeing? Sorry, so innovations that you are seeing that you like, and then some timeless principles that you don't think people shouldn't forget.
So what is going on the sales market right now? I think that the next big thing, it will be, of course, AI. Yeah. But AI will not replace the people, because sometimes you can see a lot of content about AI that it will replace someone. No, it can, maybe some part of people, but in general, so AI, it's like a tool. CRM, AI, all this stuff. It is a tool. It is a weapon. It is a
Mm.
weapon that can you to achieve the goals. And when the people was using the bow, they have one productivity level. When their people innovated guns, it is another level. So, but warriors was 10,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 100 years ago, and right now. So they are not will escape, something
Yeah.
like this. And I think people just need to think how they can implement all this stuff. But I think that it can be another reason how to automate all this stuff. So how Salesforce started their business? It was 25 years ago, and it was like an easy to use cloud tool, and it was competing with a heavy Oracle. But now the Salesforce, it's like a heavy elephant, for a big corporation. And now, for example, the pipe drive era comes. Yeah. So because what is a pipe drive? Pipe drive, it is a CRM system. Let's be honest, guys.
It's a big spreadsheet in the back.
Yes. Yes. So what their pipe drive doing? So it helps sales, yes, but in Salesforce, you can do the same thing that you can do in a pipe drive. But pipe drive, it's easy to use tool, So that is why some people they just like they use it. So, and maybe for future, I think CRM system will be a little bit different, for the markets. I will tell you another story. 3 days ago, I met some girl on a restaurant, on the Bali, and we had a very interesting conversation about the business. She has the 500,000 subscribers on the Instagram, and she is selling courses how to print nails.
Hmm.
So she is teaching girls how to become a uh, how to say in English. I don't know,
A
master
nail
of
practitioner or something. Yeah.
nail nail expert, nail artist, something like this.
Yeah.
And she has thousands of customers, thousands. So now she's in Bali, and she's making the conference where, let's say, 500 girls like attendees, and so they are doing this stuff. So no, I mean that there are a lot of sales,
Mhm.
So, and when she asked me what you are doing, so, and I said, oh my God, now I will try to what I'm doing. But when I start to tell what I'm doing, he said, actually, I need this because I was running ads by myself, and we connect these leads to the try to connect these leads to the spreadsheets, uh, because some guys, uh, some CRM guys like you come to her and tried to implement CRM system, like it was another CRM system, but it's something like a pipe drive, It's a CRM, but it is easy to use CRM, and it's not a Salesforce. So, and she said, Anton, I so like my spreadsheets,
Mhm.
So all my employees can work. All my girls, it's a women business, a female
Mhm.
business. All my girls can do the job with the spreadsheets. And when this guy come to me and start to implement all this CRM system, I paid a lot of money to this, but it's not working. So
Mm.
what I'm trying to talking about, we are automation experts, and we thinking in the direction like the more features, the more value, I will implement you lead scoring, email automation, follow up, blah 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 blah, because you can see the value in their, how to hard the work, but it will be another kind of people that can say, okay, I want one use case, but the main value, it is simplicity,
It's getting me thinking about the even if you keep going down the weapon analogy, it means nothing if you can't use it, right? So
Yeah.
if you've got a team of however big her team is, and
But, but, but
it could be the easiest to use platform, but if they can't take to it, then a spreadsheet is what
man,
works. So the technology is an overlay to what the business needs. It's not it shouldn't be the lead driver.
yes, yes. So, and then what I wanted to say, forget my thoughts. Okay, no, so I mean that simplicity, it can be a very good things. And by the way,
Mm,
why it will be big market? So because new TikTok generation is coming. Try to sell pipe drive to my little brother, who
mm,
was growing in Minecraft, in
mm,
TikTok, in Instagram, in Discord. The pipe drive is very hard for him. And if
mm.
I will show him a Salesforce, force, he said, Anton, go up,
Yeah,
get the hell out of here, So and when the people will do the automation, and by the way, if you are manager, for example, you are a head of sales, you are, let's say, 40 years old guy, yeah, you will have a deal with the 20 years old guys. So, and their employee turnover, it's very hard, it's very painful for business, because young generation comes, 3 months they working and they quit, so that is why their business owners have to provide a very easy to use weapon for these
mm,
young guys, because if you will give like a skyrocket nuclear rocket for this 20-year-old guys. He said, "Oh my God, I don't know how to use it, But
mm.
if you will give him like a modern bow, something like this,
Yeah.
so it will be very easy to use. And in this point, I see the very big growth.
Yeah, I love how far we push the weapon analogy there,
Yeah.
but I think there's a really good kind of core principles there. Like, don't overcomplicate.
Hmm.
Lean into where if you've got the team to lean into it and train them up, you can really supercharge kind of growth and uses and adoption things there and time savings. But I think the key principle there is the most flashy technology isn't going to help a team if they can't actually use it, right? So yes, yeah, I
Another
think that's
big,
really, really
uh,
important.
another big scene, big, what I see. So it is the leverage of media, for example. So what is the sales? Yeah, sales. It means that when you are talking with someone, blah blah blah, and people get your content and decided to buy or not. The social media era, what the Instagram gives to us. So everyone can have how would say blur when you are
Their own megaphone. Yeah, their own
microphone, yeah,
PR.
microphone, yeah. So it is a leverage of sales. But by the way, it is another interesting story. When I start a conversation with this girl about the nail artist, I started, okay, we are automation, these advanced funnels, blah 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 blah. So we was about productivity, how she's thinking. She's thinking, Anton,
Mm,
I understand you are smart, but so for me, it's easier to get a new 500,000 subscribers to get the same result.
mm,
So you understand the difference. So I say, okay, let's be effective with this amount of followers. She's thinking, okay, let's grab the new follower for followers.
mm,
So, and I see the big opportunity in the future sales in the CRM and email marketing. So when you can leverage your content strategy. So the tools that will leverage your marketing, it will be also the very good things.
Hmm.
So
So does this lead into kind of Apiway's kind of future, right? Because you mentioned right now it's focused on the marketing side, the agencies, but you also did mention very briefly, you did say the sales side. So is that where you can see, is that on your roadmap to kind of link the two there? Like what's,
I
I mean,
think
or
so.
if not, what is on the roadmap for you guys?
Old times, this is the old dilemma, marketing, sales, and I said, it's like
Mm,
a wife and husband. It's one core thing. Because you cannot be so. Um, you need to have a sales and marketing. So that's all.
yeah.
Maybe sometimes sales can be without sales team. This is another
Mhm.
thing because, for example,
Yeah.
Booking.com don't have
Yeah.
a sales team, no, in average,
Yeah.
yeah, but they have some sales techniques, on the
Yeah.
product, how to do this. They have a robot that's selling all times, So
Yeah.
and when but what is CRM? CRM, it is a robot that can make sales. What is the funnels? Funnels, it is a what is marketing automation? It is an advanced funnel, then bring the customer in this funnel, start to send emails, chatbots, SMS, start to create a retargeting campaigns and something like this. So and for different businesses, it can be a different types of CRM implementation, something
Mm.
like this.
Okay. That I love that. So thank you there, Anton, to kind of share that story and uh, how you're thinking there as well. It's really, really useful. Um, how does Apiway and Pipedrive? What's your experience with Pipedrive and how do the two systems integrate? Is it a case of you click and connect? Like what's that integration look like?
So you can easily connect Facebook, TikTok leads to Pipedrive. So or connect Pipedrive to our Google Spreadsheets because sometimes what is going? Sometimes the young generation can work in Pipedrive and understand what is going on, but the old generation they say, okay, this is give me a spreadsheet with leads and sales,
Yeah,
something like this. So this is the most common use cases, and you can see this in the demo that I will send to you, and people
perfect.
will see.
Yeah, we'll have that afterwards. Um, so just before we look to close here, and this has been also, and thank you here. Um, how did you meet your co-founders? Were they at the current, sorry, the previous business? Did you meet them when you raised money with the what was that story there?
Because my co-founder, he is now he's a CTO. He had a outsourcing agency that provide coding stuff.
Mm,
So and I met him. I hired them for the one of the projects that we was doing for implementing Active Campaign because I need to create the custom integrations and I need to have engineers.
mm,
So and I sent the request to my friends who had the coding guys who can help me,
yeah.
and that is how we start. But by the way, so on my Instagram, I'm talking about how to scale your marketing agency and transform it into a tech startup.
Mm,
And I see that, and I think that the service-based business, CRM, CRM agency, marketing agency, web development studio, this is a perfect way to start your own startup.
mm,
And there is a two sides of this game, the marketing game or CRM game. So it is a business people who understand the product, they understand how to make sales, they understand how to find investors, but they cannot create the product. And there is another side, like a web development agency, outsourcing agency. These guys all times was providing coding service for the companies, but the mindset of these people in most cases
mm.
works like to create a good solution in coding, but not they don't have a business skills.
Well, yeah,
So
because so a lot of developers don't, so they can do the coding, but they actually don't know that what
Yeah,
pain points they're solving for. So
yeah,
that they can yeah that they don't understand the pain points that the the software itself is solving for. They can just do they can build out they can build the
yeah, yeah,
product.
yeah. And actually, that is good
Doesn't mean they know SEO.
because I cannot code. I didn't write any line of code in my startup.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. So, and that is why when you are creating the projects, you start to we met each other, and you start to engage with each other and create the startups.
Mhm. And just one last point on him to kind of give him his flowers while you're chatting about him. What do you like work? What is it? How does he make you think? Like, what's your working relationship like together? Does he push you? Do you push him? Is it combative? Is it all love? Like what's your
Well,
working relationship like?
I think we have amazing story because I never met my co-founder in real life.
Mm,
Yes. So imagine all these things. So and we working together a lot of years. So it's actually interesting. But
mm,
in the starting, I was nervous about this, because you are going to VC, some venture capital guys, and they ask it. So where is your founders? And I said, I didn't saw him in my real life, but after a couple of years, I think okay, it can be a feature. It is not a bug; it is a feature.
mm.
how
Yeah,
coders say. So we just have a deal that we are equal in our company.
yeah.
So I'm responding for product marketing, sales, talking with the customers. He's responsible for coding and financial and loyal stuff.
Hmm.
So
Legal.
legal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So because how it say in English, because I'm a little bit mess guy. So
Yeah.
I'm a sales guy, blah, blah, with the hat, with the so with, a little bit with the glasses. I can
Nice.
out drink vodka with some investors, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not like how it say. Yesterday I had a calendar with a potential investor and I forget about this.
Yeah.
No, I'm mess person, but he is like a guy who are going in the bed in like in 10 p.m. He's already in
Mhm.
the bed. No, and we are different, and
Yeah.
that is why we actually were performing.
Yeah. It's so important. The reason I wanted to touch upon that is, I speak to, 50 businesses a week, and like there isn't one way to do it. So it's always good to
By
hear
the
hear
way,
these stories.
about co-founders, I failed some startups and some businesses before. I had a bad partnership. No, it not means like it was a bad. I understand my mistakes. What it was. When we are talking with the peoples, it is easy for me to understand the some entrepreneurs mindset. I like entrepreneurs guys, when
Mm,
because they understand how they're thinking. They all time they say, Anton, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, blah blah blah. So it's all, and I understand them. And when I'm talking with the coders, I feel boring. Oh, this. But the problem is that you need to uh, when the two business founders start a startup, it will be a lot of talks about inspiration, about a lot of plans, but no any performance. If the two coders will start the product, it will be a lot of code, blah blah blah, but they will build something that people don't want to use. They don't need
mm,
it, something like this. And that is why when you are make a partnership, no, it's my thoughts. So
mm,
the perfect partnership when in the beginning there is some sales guy, product guy, and some coder, and the
mm,
third one, it can how it say, join the startup. When they have a 20 employees, it will be like a general manager.
mm,
General manager. But by the way, if you are looking for the history how the big companies was growing, Apple has the same story. it was a Steve Wozniak like a coder,
Yeah.
Steve Jobs like a main sales guy, and the first investor, Mike Markula, he was the
Mm,
operator who is doing all this job. The
yeah.
Microsoft, for example, Microsoft was built by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Bill Gates was like a sales guy. Paul Allen was a coder, and after that they invited Stephen Bellmer, and Stephen Bellmer was the general operational manager,
Yeah.
who built the system.
And then Facebook had Sheryl
Yeah,
Sandberg. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
In Google, Eric Schmidt was
yeah,
in Google it was Eric Schmidt,
yeah,
something like this. So this is how I start up buildings.
yeah. It brings a practicality to as it's scaling, right? So,
Yeah,
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 I think that's again some brilliant insights. So, thank you for sharing that.
yeah.
Towards the end now, we've got some quick fire questions, if you don't mind.
Okay.
They can be they quick fire questions, but they can be long form answers. So, uh, what's in your sales tech stack and why?
Our sales tech stack, it's Active Campaign because I know this tool. So
Yeah,
we are selling emails to this, and some of our sales comes from the chat. We're using
yeah,
Help Crunch. It's like a Ukrainian intercom, but I think it's pretty good. It's
yeah,
pretty good. So, and what we are also using. We don't have a sales team because our product is like a for mass market.
yeah,
So people just sign up and start to use our product or pay by cards or something like this. Before that, in my previous businesses, I was using auto funnels like Webinar Jam or Ever Webinar for
hmm,
auto funnels. When we was selling the courses, it was like a auto webinar when you're launching the traffic to auto evergreen webinar, and people start to sell,
yeah.
uh, or people start to buy the
Buy
products.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice. And your favorite use case that you've seen people kind of using your system to connect, or whether it's use case or uh, user story that you've heard back from Apiway. Obviously, this has been 2 years or so with you
You
doing this.
know,
What's been,
I don't know these stories, and I will tell you that's interesting thoughts. The perfect customer it is when the customer come to our product, but start to pay for our product and don't ask any questions. So that's exactly the perfect customer. Yeah,
yeah,
because when the noisy customer comes to you, is sometimes people come to us and start to, why you don't have a 300
yeah,
integrations? Why
yeah,
you don't do this? Blah blah blah. And I said, okay, 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 okay. For example, we launched it on AppSuma, and the nerds guys come to us and say, oh my god, $30 lifetime subscription, and you don't have 1,000 integration. What
yeah,
going on? And I said, okay,
yeah,
it's better to focus for these girls like that has the 500,000 subscribers and don't ask the question
yes,
about
yeah,
all this
yeah.
stuff. you know
It is quite funny, right? That I've seen the level of expectance from people. Like, this is my one request. I've asked for it for 3 months now. How can you not have put it into this system? Like, it's just quite arrogant. I think I see it sometimes online with Pipedrive and other systems. That I really like it when I've seen a lot of people now having their roadmaps public, so you can see it's being considered. They can have upvotes. They can see it's been in progress and launched. I really like a public roadmap. I think that's a really nice thing to have.
when you have 50 engineers, or when your company is material, it can be, but we're not. So we are startup.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
sometimes I criticize myself that, okay, you are not so big company, but uh, the 1 year ago, I was living in Ukraine under bombing, and we are without electricity, and sometimes it was like the customer tell you that, oh my god, it's not working, something like that, and your electricity for 3 days is boom. You don't have any internet. But by the way, it's another interesting story why SaaS business is very good. when we don't have electricity, I thought, oh my god, it will be over,
Mm.
any support, but I open my dashboard and the customer not go out and something like this, and that is why I decided the SaaS business model is very life sticky, something like this.
Mm.
So continue my thoughts. So 1 years ago, I don't know what is going on, but now I moved to Bali. We have some customers, and I don't care that we don't have a lot of engineers, a lot of integration. So we just try to do our stuff, and
Yeah.
some.
No, no, I love it. And just from a pipe drive standpoint, obviously, the platform from the integration and from using it. Are there any pipe drive feature requests, that you would like to see within the platform that you've, or something that's missing that
But,
you think?
but by the way, yeah, I will tell you. I have another story about the pipe drive when I was pitching my startup to five pipe drive founders.
Yeah.
That,
Oh,
that's another,
nice. Okay.
yeah, that's another story. Uh, yeah, yeah. So about the features. So I think that pipe drive will go to their like for active campaign way. So pipe drive will be more advanced, and some another CRM system will get their pipe drive market for the SMB, and pipe drive will move to the middle market.
Yeah.
Something. It's a logical evaluation of any B2B SaaS companies. They start from
Yeah.
the SMB, middle market, and go to the enterprise market.
Yeah.
Another things about their how I was pitching to Pipedrive founder API way idea. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting. When the first call with was with the founder, and he's a sales guy, and I
Yeah.
start to sell them, blah, 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 and he said, "And don't tell me this. Tell me the story." And I start to make this story. By the way, he's like this.
Yeah.
But after that, I had a talk with their CTO, with a coder, and he was like, not a sky person, he was ground person.
Yeah.
He said, Anton, your idea, because the previous we had an idea to provide free integration and marketplace. So, and he said that, Anton, your idea is very bad, and you will fail, some blah blah blah, and they cut our idea. But by the way, maybe he was right, because with the previous idea we failed and
Mm.
changed their business model. So because I link into pipe drive a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, so you're very close there. I mean, from our side, we're certainly seeing in the last 3 years, um, you know, as HubSpot's going towards enterprise and chasing the everything app, Pipedrive's going from the solopreneur to the small business to a scaling business. So yes, it's certainly moving upstream. Um, they still want to be easy to use, but all of these apps, from a CRM standpoint, have different beginnings, right? So some might have started from a marketing standpoint, which dictates the pricing, dictates how things are built up around. Pipedrive started from a sales standpoint, so it was visual pipeline by stage, activities. Yes, they're leaning into marketing. Yes, it's leaning into project management, but it is still at the core, sales activities at the heart of it. And other
Another
systems from project management kind of leaning into a CRM, it doesn't quite fit. So yeah, I can certainly see Pipedrive pushing it upstream there.
the different from the first few CRMs can be very similar, but for example, active campaign CRM, they more deeply, mm, how would say, so when the lead come to website, so they can analyze where the leads on the website, send to him this drip
Mm.
emails, blah blah blah. So it means that the active campaign helps people to walk through the content and funnel. The
Mm.
Pipedrive, for example, it's more the CRM that helps a sales team that works with a service-based business. So, for example, you have just like a lot of calls, or just like a lot of leads for real estate, so where need to uh, to have a lot of content on your website, something like this, so, and that is why I think Pipedrive, maybe they can go. Maybe you can create some plugin for this. When you integrate Pipedrive to the website, and you can see all activities for lead, what pages this lead was visited. So you can send some emails to this. Let's say it's a pretty use case. For example, lead submit to the webinar, and after that, he visited 5 pages, for example, with their
Mm.
use cases. And for salesperson, it will be like a trigger, and automatically submit the task.
Yeah.
This lead was on these pages five times. You should call to them and start, and the sales call will start like this. Hey John, I saw that you visited the last 5 pages about, let's say, real estate villas in Bali.
Yeah.
So can I help you with this? So it will be another level of conversation when compare with like, hello, you send a request, how I can help you. So it's a different,
Yeah.
uh, sale point.
Yeah, I like it. It's come up a couple of times from a conversation standpoint, and I always go back to David Gable, who first coined this term to me anyway, and who's the head of sales at Kixi, and he called it sales synchronicity, right? So, um, as a salesperson, just being able to talk, like technology is allowing us to be asynchronous with the prospect. So we know exactly what journey they've been on. We can connect to them exactly when they're looking at our pitch deck, whatever it might be. So instead of having your power hour where you do your calls in the morning or in the afternoon, you can be a synchronous salesperson. So when they are looking at your deck or when they are opening your email, let's get on the phone and talk to them. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really nice. Well, Anton, this has been awesome. From my side, I just want to say again, thank you. Yeah, I tip my hat. I've got behind me over here. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for those listening and
Of course,
watching. We listen to the Evolve Pipedrive podcast. We talk all things Pipedrive sales, apps, and Pipedrive marketplace. At Evolve, we're a technology consultancy helping scaling businesses get more out of Pipedrive through implementation, consultancy, and training. And if you found this useful, please let us know what you think in the comments. Like, hit subscribe, share with someone that you think would find this useful. We value all of your feedback on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. We listen to it all. And Anton, once again, thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Yeah. See you.
Cheers now. Bye.